Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So let's just get straight into it, straight down to business, straight down to the facts. Fenty released concealers. So obviously concealer queen over here got hella excited about that, and then I got even more excited when I found out that the concealer was coming out in 50 damn shades. 50 shades of concealer. I actually thought when Huda brought hers out and there was like 20 or something, that I was like, yeah, this is good, this is decent. Fenty, Riri, you literally just rained on everyone else's parade. I am here for it. I cannot tell you how much this excites me. In fact, I don't need to tell you. It's fairly obvious how excited I am about this. Yeah, so anyway, 50 concealer shades. She already had 40 foundation shades, but she added 10 more shades. So now there's 50 foundation shades, 50 concealer shades, and Riri also decided to do setting powders, and she came out with 8 shades of those. Some might say 8, what? When there's 50 of this and 50 of that and only 8? Nah. I'm sorry, but that is really good, because considering a lot of brands do translucent and then yellow or something like that, this is decent, this is good, and who knows what the future holds. But anyway, enough of me just sharing my excitement with you. I'm gonna get on with telling you all about it now. So there is 50 shades of the concealers, and I did go to the event the other day. We spoke with the global makeup artist Hector. He actually helped develop this product, and he actually said that they really focused on so many different undertones for the concealers. Undertones make such a huge difference to a product, and there are so many different hints of undertones that, yeah, 50 makes sense. When I was trying and I was swatching and all of that, loads of different concealer shades, I actually felt like there wasn't just one that works for me. There was like about 3 that would work for me and my skin tone, which is great. But I have been able to narrow it down, and I'll tell you which one I think suits me best, just to make it easier for you. But I just want to show you 3 different kind of undertones, and I'm also going to compare the shades to 2 of my favorite concealers, which is Tarte Shape Tape and also NARS Ginger. Those 2 concealers are perfect for me. I love the shades of those. I love how they work. This right here is Tarte Shape Tape in the shade medium, and this right here is NARS Ginger. So the way Fenty has designed these concealers is you would be the same number in the concealer as you are to the foundation, but the concealer shade isn't the exact same as the foundation, if that makes sense. So I am the shade 300 in the Fenty foundation, and they have advised that I would be the shade 300 in the concealer. So this is the shade 300 in the Fenty concealer, and I'm going to show you a shade that I felt looked really good for my skin tone. That is a few shades lighter, but I felt like the undertone worked really well for my skin tone, so I picked that one up, and that is in the shade 235. And then I will also show you one above that I felt was a good shade, and is in the shade 310. Okay guys, so this is 235, this is 300, which is what Fenty would match me to, and this is 310. This is NARS Ginger, and this is Tarte Shape Tape in the shade medium. So looking at these swatches on my hand, I definitely would say that the shade 300 is the most perfect match for me. The shade 300 was actually so perfect because it corrected under my eyes, and it also brightened up, and it just gave me the same look and feel that NARS Ginger and Tarte Shape Tape does. So I'm actually really impressed with how Fenty have matched the concealer shade number with the foundation shade number, and it's going to be brightening rather than being the exact same color, because no one wants to be the exact same color the whole way through. So this is what the concealer looks like. It's basically a mini version of the foundation. Look at these 2 together. How cute is this? The packaging, of course, looks and feels really sleek, really high end. It's got that frosted finish to it, and then the applicator is really nice, because you've got a beautiful doe foot applicator, which is nice and flat. It's not as big as the Tarte Shape Tape, but it does go on really nice, and it does apply your concealer beautifully. So I'm really impressed with the packaging and the applicator and all of that. The concealer itself is actually £19, and for £19 you are getting 8 mils of concealer. So in the Tarte Shape Tape you get 10 mils, but I believe it's a little bit more pricey. And then in the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer you get 6 mils. So you're actually getting 2 mils more than you would get in NARS. And just look at the size difference. In terms of the actual product inside and the consistency of it and all of that, I feel like this Fenty concealer is actually a mixture of these two concealers, but creamier. It actually feels like it's actually slightly creamier than the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, but it's got that intense coverage that you get from Tarte Shape Tape. So it's literally a mixture of these two concealers made into one. But what is different about it is that because it is quite creamy, it's a little bit more tacky, shall we say. And because of that, I wouldn't say that this concealer is crease proof or super matte. I feel like it definitely needs setting. This concealer doesn't feel super heavy under your eyes or wherever. Like, it's actually really nice to wear. The coverage on this concealer is insane. It is actually amazing. Like, you get so much coverage out of this, and I feel like a little bit of this goes a long way. It actually spreads out really well. Like, it goes a long way, literally. And overall, I just think it is a really beautiful product, and I am actually very pleased with it, I have to say. Moving on to the setting powder, this is what it looks like. It's actually a really decent sized tub, jar, wait, what word am I looking for? Anyway, you know what I mean. So this setting powder is £24, and for £24 you are getting 28 grams of product, which I think is decent considering you get 29 grams in the Laura Mercier powder and you only get 20 grams in the Huda Easy Bake powder. So I mean, that says a lot, really, doesn't it? I got this in the shade Banana. Which is this nice light yellow shade. I feel like although this shade looks quite light in the tub, when it goes on, it's actually not that light. Like, I feel like it warms up on your skin a little bit. So I feel like a lot of different shades of people can get away with using the Banana shade. Now, I've used this a couple times since I've got it. I've baked with it, and I've also just set my makeup with it. I have to say, when it comes to baking with it, I'm actually not that impressed, just because I feel like it literally stuck to the concealer and it just was clinging to the concealer, and I had to really hydrate my skin with Fix Plus to kind of get that powdery look away. But then when I applied this powder with a damp beauty blender sponge and I lightly dabbed it, and instead of heavily baking with it, I got a much better and smooth finish with it. So I don't think that this powder is actually made for baking, and it's not going to look terrible at all. But under the eyes, where your skin is a little bit more wrinkly than other places, it's a lot thinner. It's really going to draw attention to that kind of textured skin under the eyes. So I actually find that this powder is better for dusting over your face and setting your face makeup. I did actually do that with a different shade of this powder today, and I used the shade Honey, and I'm wearing it right now. To be honest, I do think it's just a touch too dark for me, and it'll be the perfect shade when I'm tan. So I just want to tell you, I have tried it in that way, and I think if you want to set your face makeup and you're my shade, I think Cashew is going to be a better shade for you. But if you do want to bake with the Banana, what I would advise that you do is you set your under eye area with, say, another powder, I don't know, Charlotte Tilbury or whatever. Press the powder on and then go in and bake after, because that way your bake isn't going to stick to the concealer, and then when you go to dust off that bake, you're not going to take away any of that concealer. It's not going to look patchy, anything like that. I hope I'm explaining that correctly. I have to say though, when I did bake with it and then I Fix Plussed it and all of that, and eventually once it had settled, and which is what I lightly baked with it today, and I used a damp beauty blender sponge to do it, and I just kept pressing the powder in, it looked much better. I feel like this powder definitely gives you a really nice soft focus finish effect to your skin. You aren't going to get any flashback with it, which is great, and that's exactly what she wanted to do. She didn't want any flashback. As you can see, guys, my skin looks really smooth, and the powder doesn't look really heavy or cakey. Honestly, it's such a light, finely milled powder. It goes on beautifully, and it definitely doesn't sit heavy on the skin whatsoever, like at all. I have to say, I am super impressed with the face powder, more so as a whole face setting powder than I am as a baking powder. So if you are on the hunt for a powder that's going to set the rest of your makeup and make your whole face just look like, you know, soft focus blur, photo ready, then this is definitely the powder for you, and I would recommend getting the right shade for you. So yeah, I think that is everything I needed to say, and overall I am super impressed with how these products work. I honestly, genuinely, how many other words can I use? Really do enjoy them. Let me know if you want me to do like a full Fenty face tutorial for you. Then comment down below, let me know. Give this video a big thumbs up if you're gonna be trying this concealer, if you like this review, if you wanna see any more reviews. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed and obviously came back to watch more videos. Hit me up on, I was gonna say on the Instagram. Hit me up on the gram too. It's at AnchalMUA over there. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah. Bye.